Hi Stamp-a-Palooza folks, this is Dee again, and I am going to be showing you the card that Rita designed. It's a pop-out stand-up card for our holidays in motion. So again, it's another interactive motion card that mails flat in a standard envelope, and when the recipient gets it, they'll push it up and reveals the sentiment and the main image feature on one side. And then on the back side is where you can do a little more stamping and perhaps write your message to the recipient. But then they can stand it up and enjoy looking at it for most of the holiday season. So let's get started making this. The first thing we want to do is we've got to make our pop-up rectangle here. Because we need this all embellished and ready to go before we put it into the card base, which this looks like such a complicated card, but it's not. So in your kit, you've got several pieces of goodies here. And what we want to concentrate on is the rectangle gray granite piece first. That's going to be our background. Now, if you get the Dashing Deer bundle, you can take perhaps this image or even this one and do a lot of stamping around. But what we found is we loved this little berry branch image from First Frost because that matches back to the designer series paper that we highlighted. So we're going to do a little tone-on-tone stamping with gray granite, which is the card base color that we're looking at here. So go ahead and stamp up, and let me pop this over here again. We want to go ahead and do a little tone-on-tone, excuse me, stamping all the way around the border here. And then we're also going to do it on the front side of our card base. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of show you how you can do that. Tone-on-tone stamping. You can stamp off if you like. On this one, I'm going to kind of go full force on it, just to show the difference. But there's the stamping off, and there's the full force, or the complete one. So I'll just kind of mix this up just a little bit here. Kind of do one full strength and one half. We want to give a little border on it so that we can make sure that our sentiment can be seen. Okay, so then we want to double check what the right side of you won't have the strip on it already. So what you'll want to do is just go ahead and stamp on one side of your card base. And I'll go ahead and get a couple of those done and then finish those off camera. Next, we're going to take our Merry Merlot, and on the back side of it, we're going to be stamping with appreciation for all you do. And so I'll go ahead and got my Merry Merlot. And you want to leave it a little more like on the upper part of it, where you'll be sliding it in. We don't want it too low, so that, it doesn't reveal. So don't reside the sentiment clear down on the bottom, because when we slide it up, you might not see it. And then while I have the Merry Merlot out, we're also going to go ahead and stamp the Happiest Christmas Wishes, again from Dashing Deer, onto the die cut piece that's part of the bundle. And we'll go ahead and stamp that. Awesome. Okay, we're done with that stamping. All right, so again, we are needing to make our rectangle piece that's going to be popping in and out. So we're going to take the Joyous Noel Designer Series paper, and we're going to layer that onto our soft suede rectangle. And this is going to match exactly the same up and down on the edges, so you'll just have a border on the outer edge of it. Let's see, that looks like that's the direction. And if it overhangs just a little bit, we can trim that off later. Next, what we're going to do is you have the sentiment here, and what you can do is either offset it slightly like that, or you can go ahead and trim it in half and then slightly separate it out. So with your paper snips, all you need to do is just go ahead and trim it in half. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and take some of our multi-purpose glue, and on the outside of it, give it a little wiggle room that way, and you can position it slightly off center. And this way it kind of splits the look, and whoops, you get that outline on either end. Okay, so I'll keep kind of playing with that off camera, but that is how that's going to look. And in your supplies, you've got lots of these little die cuts that you can use for accenting. Whoops, so you can just kind of take those out as you need them. And we're gonna put one of these little kind of flower embellishments up here on the corner. Cute, cute design, Rita. Okay, so we want this to be up here on the top, and all of these need to be flat. So you don't want to use any dimensionals or anything of that nature when you have it on the top. We're going to put it as, you know, almost as far up as what we can. Okay, that looks good. Because again, we need to keep this flat. And we'll take our copper dashing deer element and put him down on it too. Again, making him up as high as what we can. And he just gets centered on there. Oops, be a little more generous with the glue than what I did. He needs to be all the way glued down. Okay, very cute. Okay, we're ready to start assembling the box. Okay, what we also want to do is go ahead and glue down, again, no dimensionals or anything like that. We just want it very flat, the sentiment and the other stamping that we did on the back side of it. Okay, so now let's put our pop-up card together. This is so easy, everybody. Okay, so the side that we stamped our background pattern, what we're going to do is we are going to, and let's see, I think I like this to be my front a little more. What we're going to do is slide our deer, making sure that everything, you know, clears. We're gonna slide that in, and then we are going to turn this upside down. Okay, so in other words, you can take your stamp side, turn it upside down, and then kind of slide that in from the top. Again, making sure that all of his little feet and everything come in. Then we're going to fold back this bottom tab here that we've made. And you do want to go ahead and make sure that you've got nice, good burnishes with your bone folder. I've added 2 strips of tear and tape on there, and so let's go ahead and we'll get this off. A paper piercer or the new Pick-a tool works great for getting the tear and tape started. So again, I just kind of am getting up in the corner and pulling that. What we're going to do is continue to pull down our deer image so that he's in the center and down here at the bottom. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. And put that down, and it looks like I've got just a smidgen of an overhang. So if you have that, go ahead and trim that up. No one will ever see it. Get this trimmed. I don't want to cut the card base. I'm just cutting their little insert. There we go. Okay, so we've got the deer all the way down to the bottom. And we're going to turn down the top tab as well and put tear and tape on that. Okay, so then we'll go ahead and get our paper piercer and again pull these off. So again, we're turning in the two sides, and now these two meet. So this is going to be the bottom of our card. Okay, so these two, I'm not going to put it together just yet, but hopefully, I'm trying to see if you can see that. There we go. So those two are going to meet, and we want that to be flat. So we want to add, like, line up the seams, or the folds, I should say, and press that down. And now it pops up. I love it. So here's how this is going to look from this view here. It's so awesome. It's such a cool design. Okay, so that's the look of it. And again, that's where you want to just make sure, excuse me, that I would recommend that you play with it, meaning go ahead and break down those fibers just a little bit. And the more that you do that, the easier that the pop-up mechanism will go. Now you have tons of other little embellishments that you have here that was with your kit to go. And so on this, you can go ahead and just have fun gluing them down where you'd like. And again, you can take a look at the photo of the deer here, but we put a little on the front. We have a little flower, and then one of the corners. And then on the back where the sentiment is, we've added 2 more corners and a couple more flowers up there in the corner to really, you know, jazz it up. Now, a thing that you'll want to just be aware of is that, you know, his feet aren't going to show. You know, the bottom, very tippy top of his feet aren't going to show, but don't worry about that at all. Oh my gosh, what a cute design, Rita. Thank you so much for your talents on that. And I hope you enjoy this pop-up card. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining Stamp-a-Palooza. There is going to be another video that's just going to show what all of the door prizes are. This is the majority, this is the last of the cards of the Make and Take. And thank you so much for joining 2018 Stamp-a-Palooza Holidays in Motion. Have a great day, everybody, and happy crafting. Bye-bye.